It's tomorrow's journalist today.
Coming up next on the Daily News at noon, neighborhood schools are now the rule in the Alpine School District. Find out why they are getting firm with their boundaries.
A long-awaited reopening of a Springville road happens today.
And don't bring your chew with you. Some Utah hospitals go tobacco-free inside and out.
BYU Daily News starts now.
It's tomorrow's journalist today.
Welcome to BYU's Daily News. I'm Brett Crandall.
And I'm Emily Flores. Our top story today. Police continue their investigation of the murder of ex-BYU professor Kay Mortensen. We just spoke with officers at the Utah County Sheriff's Office. They say they have no new information but are still on the case. We know police found Mortensen dead Monday night after intruders entered his Payson Canyon home, killed him, then tied up his son and daughter-in-law with zip ties. Yesterday, police say they got a strong telephone lead and want the informant to call back.
Students in the Alpine District will have to get comfortable where they attend school, or they may have to move. District officials announced Alpine will close enrollment for 12 of its campuses for the 2010 school year, and Leah Wright has the story.
Alpine will seal off enrollment for a dozen of its campuses. Leah Wright, BYU Daily News, Alpine.
Parents can still petition for their child to attend a closed enrollment school, even if they live outside its boundaries. You can find an out-of-area form on the district's website from December 1st until February 19th. After 11 months of closed construction, Springville's 400 South will reopen today, a day earlier than anticipated. The project widened the road from 2 to 5 lanes, added new bridges, and a new single-point urban interchange at Interstate 15. Political and UDOT leaders, along with the community, will celebrate the opening this afternoon beginning at 3.
Federal prosecutors have not included Wanda Barzee on the list of potential witnesses in the Elizabeth Smart case. Barzee pleaded guilty to kidnapping charges Tuesday and agreed to testify against her ex-husband, Brian David Mitchell. Prosecutors, however, did not include Barzee in the list of 29 people prosecutors may call during a preliminary hearing this month. And the case of 4 teens cited for wrapping their order at an American Fork McDonald's go to trial. Spencer Dwalder is challenging the disorderly conduct infraction in state court in Utah County after pleading not guilty Wednesday. McDonald's employees asked him and his friends to leave after ordering in a rap song. Police cited them after a manager called authorities.
A Pleasant Grove man pleaded guilty to murder and will serve a sentence of 5 years to life in prison. 25-year-old Colton Louder shot and killed Jeffrey Ackerman in February. Ackerman chased Louder to a nearby lot after a confrontation in his Pleasant Grove home, where Louder shot Ackerman several times. A former Utah Highway Patrol lieutenant is in hot water again, accused of driving under the influence for a second time. Police are charging Fred Swain with a DUI and being an alcohol-restricted driver because he was driving a semi. Swain resigned in June 2006 after a drunk driving incident. Swain pleaded not guilty to the recent DUI charges Wednesday. If you're heading to a hospital today, you might as well leave your cigarettes at home. Reporter Weston Gleave has more on policy changes at some hospitals.
That's right, Brett. Each year on the third Thursday of November, the American Cancer Society has its Great American Smokeout. 5 Intermountain Healthcare hospitals are taking that concept to a new level.
Today, Altaview Hospital and 4 other Intermountain.
Brochures and information pamphlets like this one are on display at these hospitals. They explain more on the new implications along with ways for people with addictive habits to get help. In addition to the pamphlets, more information is available online at www.utahquitnet.com. Brett, back to you.
Thanks, Weston. The website allows smokers to receive help directly from professional counselors.
Utah schools and medical clinics may face budget cuts next year. The chairman of the Utah State Senate Budget Committee says there will be cuts to education and other public service coffers because of an $850 million shortfall in the state budget. Some proposals to save money include cutting 1,000 government jobs, increasing classroom sizes, and cutting funds to some clinics. Students will soon have to work harder to earn a prestigious state scholarship. Utah lawmakers have proposed a new bill saying students must get a 3.5 grade point average to qualify for the New Century Scholarship. The previous requirement was a 3.0. Students would also have to earn an associate degree while in high school.
Coming up next on the Daily News, why hospitals are not happy with new cancer screening guidelines. When is the best time to test? We'll look into the controversy.
And the New Mexico soccer player who pulled BYU's ponytail has become national news. We'll be right back.
Just when you thought holiday flight delays couldn't get worse, they got worse. Katrina victims say yesterday's federal court decision vindicates them. And New Mexico girls soccer player Elizabeth Lambert reacts to her hairy moment. Here's your look around the nation. Airports across the nation are facing widespread flight cancellations and delays. The Federal Aviation Administration system that monitors aircraft is malfunctioning, causing the agency to enter the planes manually. Although the FAA says the glitch is now fixed, delays will continue all day. You might want to check your flight status before heading to the airport. Many New Orleans flood victims say they feel vindicated now. A federal court found the Army Corps of Engineers responsible for the flooding caused by Hurricane Katrina. Wednesday's ruling said the Corps failed to properly maintain a canal meant to protect the levees that broke during the disaster. The Corps will pay damages up to $317,000. And New Mexico soccer player Elizabeth Lambert says she deeply regrets her unsportsmanlike actions in a recent game against BYU. In her first interview with the New York Times since the game, Lambert says she has watched the video and doesn't recognize herself in the now infamous hair-pulling incident. Lambert is seeing a psychologist to learn what led to her aggressive behavior. And that's your news from around the nation. Emily, back to you.
New federal breast cancer screening guidelines released this week break away from those established by the American Cancer Society, and that's led to some confusion. BYU Daily News reporter Brenna Olson is here to help clear things up.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says that going to the hospital too early for a mammogram can cause unnecessary fear and anxiety. But those who have had the disease say early screening is critical.
The chilling feeling that comes after a positive mammogram screening is all too real for Kelly Taylor.
The Department of Health and Human Services says that new guidelines don't supersede your doctor's advice, especially for those with higher risk for breast cancer. Back to you.
Still to come, the grand opening of a famous burger chain in Utah County today.
Where to go to get your double-double when we come back.
And are you trying to make your weekend plans? I'll tell you about some big changes that are coming up just in time for the game.
The Orem In-N-Out Burger restaurant is now open, and this morning burger fans took advantage of the new opportunity. Customers lined up to wait for the 10:30 a.m. grand opening at 350 East University Parkway, and some said the wait was worth it. 2 customers from California said it was just as good as the ones back home.
Weather specialist Brooke Graham is with us to tell us what we can expect for the weather coming up for the big game this weekend.
Yes, you guys, it's gorgeous outside
It is
today.
gorgeous outside.
Couldn't ask for a nicer
Perfect weather to go wait in line at In-N-Out.
day. Exactly what I'm going to do this afternoon.
I'll give you money. You could buy for all of us.
Yeah, that's
since you're
not a bad
willing to wait in
idea.
line.
Okay. Well, let's take a look outside. It is beautiful out there. A little smoggy, as you can see. That's just due to the high pressure that has been sitting over the area for the last little while. The smog will be wiped out by the storms this weekend, so just enjoy the sun today. Right now,
We'll enjoy tomorrow because Saturday is going to
Yeah.
be brutally cold.
Exactly.
True fans will tough out the snow, right?
Yep, it's true.
Thanks so much.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, after a long road trip for the Jazz, they finally got to come home for one night.
What are the Jazz's plans for the future, Robbie?
Yeah, the Jazz are on the road again tonight, but last night they were back just long enough to pick up a much-needed win. This was a blowout early, but became quite interesting. Highlights coming your way. And friend or foe, or maybe both. We'll explain coming up in sports. Following a 4-game Eastern road trip, the Utah Jazz rested up for a few days before taking on the Toronto Raptors at Energy Solutions Arena.
Thanks so much for sports, Robbie. Well, coming up next, are you Team Edward or Team Jacob? Twilight fans prepare for the big midnight showing. We'll be right back. Twilight fans are jumping at the bit to get the ultimate Twilight experience. BYU graduate and author of the book, Stephanie Meyer, made an appearance at the premiere Wednesday, and the long-anticipated Twilight Saga movie New Moon opens to the general public tonight. Fans are already forming lines here in Provo this morning to get good seats at the midnight showings. Most bought their tickets months in advance.
Well, that's your daily news for Thursday, November 19th, 2009.
For updates around the clock, join us online at dailynews.byu.edu.
Have a great afternoon.